Hi, everybody. I'm Jenifer Duguay with Remax Space Center, and we're here once again to support our small business owners. And I just want to highlight and spotlight everyone that I can so we can help, share their brand and get them additional exposure. So I want to introduce y'all to a very long-time friend, another long-time friend that, well, actually, we've graduated from Pearland together.
Yeah.
But I want to introduce y'all to Jess Monroe, who owns Titan Structural Repairs. So, hey, Jess, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. It's been so long. I'm excited to have you on here. So, thank you for coming on and letting me know. Hey, you reached out to me, so I was extremely flattered. Thank you, by the way.
No, for sure. I think what you're doing is a great thing, especially in this time. I mean, I think people need this, but I appreciate everything you've done as well.
Great. Well, I'm excited to know about your business because we all know in Houston, there's it's not a matter of if, it's more of a matter of when you're going to need foundation repair. And when there's foundation repair, oftentimes there's plumbing issues that, get damaged in the process of the repair, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Or, vice versa. A lot of times people don't associate the two, and the plumbing issues could have came first, and that's what actually causes the foundation issues. So they kind of go hand in hand.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So tell me, how busy have you been? I bet you have been probably really busy the last few years.
Yeah, lately we've been busy. I mean, Harvey kind of slowed us down a little bit, unfortunately. But right now we've been busy. We do a lot of work with real estate agents and offices such as yourself, a lot of investors. So it seems like on the investor end of things, the business has kind of picked up from them. They're taking advantage of the lower rates and prices, but it's been busy.
I guess tell us what you're seeing a lot of right now, this time of year.
So really, I mean, we're seeing a lot of everything. Basically, what Titan specializes in is we specialize in foundation repair, we specialize in under-slab plumbing, and we specialize in drainage. So it's most everything that causes structural issues. I work hand in hand with a lot of real estate agents and offices just because, when you guys go to sell a deal or represent the buyer or seller, you guys are kind of on a time crunch as far as when y'all are gathering y'all's paperwork. So to me, that's very important, being very diligent, very fast, responsive to you guys. But we try to combat anything you guys are seeing in inspection reports, whether it's been, previous work done, people don't have paperwork for that. They're wanting work done before the house is closed. And, again, time is of essence for you guys. You guys are generally on a 7-day or a 5-day option period. So, here at the office, we're very keen to that. And we do a very quick turnaround time for you guys. You got a lot of things that are mentioned in inspection reports are, inadequate drainage or drainage is needed. A lot of times you see that they need foundation. They're either calling for a structural engineer or a certified foundation company to come out and evaluate the home. And then again, the under-slab plumbing. And a lot of times the under-slab plumbing kind of goes awry. A normal home inspector doesn't catch that a lot of times. They're generally just inspecting the above slab plumbing, turning on fixtures, faucets, things of that nature. But unless you have a camera or somebody is actually pointing out causes or means that the under slab plumbing could have given way or could be shot, that's a huge thing in our industry for sure.
Yeah, so let me ask you, because I'm sure, a lot of agents are going to ask, do you charge a fee to get out there and to inspect the foundation while we're in that option period?
So that's a great question. We actually don't.
Good, right.
Just one reason to try to gain you guys trust, try to gain you guys business. We don't charge. And then, hopefully on the back end, the seller's reciprocated and we're the one that installs the jobs. Something that we do is very different than what you normally see. I mean, a lot of you guys are getting back hand sketches, hand drawings with a pencil on a piece of graph paper that you can't read. An example of what we do, this actually has my structural stamp at the top,
Oh, awesome.
our logo, but it's full coloring 2-scale AutoCAD renderings. So we'll
Oh,
go
that's
out
awesome.
and we'll inspect a home. No corner is left unturned. You've got a full set of elevation readings. So, a lot of times I can even combat what another, quote unquote certified inspector is doing, which is nothing more than a glorified sales guy from another company.
Yep.
And that's the sad thing in our industry is, you could call out 2 or 3 different companies, and unfortunately, sometimes you're going to get 2 or 3 different opinions. But,
Yeah.
like I said, with our drawing, with it actually having my structural stamp, any lien holder accepts that. So that is one thing that differentiates us from somebody else. But most of the time, I can get out to you guys, depending on the time of day you call, either that day or the following day. I'll do everything on site and then come back. These drawings take me about 4 hours to do in the office. So, within 16 to 20 hours, you guys generally have everything that you need, copies of the sample warranty, structural stamped drawings, as well as, the system that we're going to use on that particular home.
Yeah, that's great. You had mentioned, competing with other, obviously other foundation companies. It's kind of funny to me because I have, been in the business for 20 years, and, there's a lot of companies out there that maybe were great at one point, and then, later on down the road, I sold a house actually out in Seabrook, and the buyers, they had gotten some quotes, and the company that they came back said $19,000, which was a joke, by the way, because it ended up costing my client it was like 49.85. It wasn't even quite $5,000. It was a ripoff. I couldn't believe it. And the company that my client went with, it said that unfortunately there's companies out there that will try to take advantage of people, and I hate that. I can't stand anybody to take advantage of others. That drives me crazy. So
yeah, I mean, the price point, unfortunately, is all over the place. I mean, you've got people charging upwards of $600 a piling, companies charging $500 a piling. But yeah, the prices lately have gotten completely absurd and out of hand. You're exactly right. Depending on who you call, you're going to get prices that range all across the board.
yes. So that I want to ask you too, what process do you use?
So depending on what area of town it's in is kind of going to distinctify what kind of system we're going to use. The soils down south, closer to where you and I are, let's call the imaginary equator line I-10. Anything south of I-10, we're going to use a concrete press system that's driven hydraulically. They're precast concrete cylinders, 12 inches by 12 inches. But when you get north of I-10, your Magnolia Creek, your Conroes, your Huntsvilles, that soil is a lot harder. It has a lot different bearing capacity than what we have here. So driving a concrete press piling isn't necessarily going to necessitate the depth that you need. So in those situations, we would use a poured pier or a bell-bottom pier. And again, the key to this is depth. The deeper you drive that system, the deeper you drive that piling, the more out of inactive soil that system becomes, and the less that house is going to move. So again, to be safe, north of I-10, we're going to drive bell-bottom piers, and south of I-10, we're going to drive concrete press pilings.
Well, that's interesting and really good to know. I'm going to remember that I-10 is my equator. So that's some good advice. So I guess, and now, since you do have the foundation, and tell us a little bit about the warranty that you offer.
So great question. The warranty is actually a lifetime warranty. One thing that we do that differs from a lot of companies is we actually make the warranty out to the dwelling's address. And I do that simply so that, a lot of companies out there will try to negate the warranty because, the new homeowner didn't, within 10 or 15 days, transfer that warranty, call them, pay a fee. And that's something that really perturbed me. with the former company I was with. And you know, when you guys are going to sell a house and you're representing a seller, a buyer, or even the purchaser, they have way too many things on their mind at the time to worry about calling that foundation company within 10 days to
Yeah.
transfer the warranty. And you know, it goes hand in hand with when warranty work is needed, or if it's needed for a homeowner to have invested a lot of money, you know, in that home, and they call this company out to, you know, warranty or readjust, and then they find out all of a sudden, you know, the $10,000 that was spent, 8, 7, 20, however much, it's, they no longer want to hold to that because they didn't call within that time frame. So
Yeah.
with our warranty, again, the warranty is made out to the dwelling's address. There's no need to transfer it. As long as that house is sitting at that address, it will forever carry over to however many homeowners there may be.
Well, that's good to know. And ironically, a couple of months ago, I guess it was right before Thanksgiving, I had another agent that her clients purchased a home. We provide them the warranty that we received, you know, from when my clients purchased their home. So they weren't the sellers that made the foundation repair. It was the previous seller.
Right.
And that buyer, I guess, you know, whatever, they had an issue where they wanted someone to come out and check, and that company, you know, they were giving them such a hard time, and then told them that their files, you know, they don't have everything in their computers, that it was so long ago that it just, you know, they couldn't find them in the system. That was the ultimate thing. And it was really frustrating, you know. Obviously the seller, those new owners didn't understand, first of all, that the warranty only covered the work that was performed. And
Sure.
that's something that sometimes, you know, first time home buyers misunderstand, that it doesn't cover the entire foundation. It's only going to cover the portion that was repaired. But it was such a shame that they did tell them they couldn't find them in their system. And I felt like that was a cop out.
Yeah, and
It wasn't,
unfortunately,
but it just kind of seemed that way.
people, you know, unfortunately in this business, some practice that way, and it is very unfortunate.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, so that's great that you offer that. And I love that you have those drawings. Those drawings are awesome. That just helps us as realtors to really provide us with, you know, information that, you know, that shows, you know, a very professional job was done on the foundation. So I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So now talk to us about, now since you do draining, and yes, you were correct. About, I would say 9 out of 10 inspection reports say there's improper draining. So tell us what all you do with that.
So that's it's pretty much all in the same, hand in hand. We'll go out and we'll draw up a rendering, a 2-scale drawing of the house, rather than having interior elevation numbers drawn or a structural analysis. Basically, we're doing analysis of the exterior yard. So a lot of times there'll be negative grading, or there'll be spots in the yard that are collecting water. So we'll do the same thing. We'll measure that out, and we'll put together a repair plan for a drainage system. Usually it's, you know, 12 by 12 collection boxes that are then attached to discharge lines that will discharge the lines all the way out into the street. So, you know, a lot of times inspectors are now calling for the downspouts of the gutters to be tied into some sort of drainage, where it's not just discharging directly onto the house. So that's another case by case basis, but we kind of approach it the same. You're going to get the same rendering, the same drawing, the same stamp. But again, rather it being a structural analysis with elevation readings, it'll show a drainage system that's being applied on the outside yard. And the same is said with the plumbing. You know, with the plumbing, unfortunately, a test would have to be ran on the plumbing. That would be, I would say, in the whole process, that would be the only test that wouldn't be free, because unfortunately, to test the plumbing, you have to come out with fiber optic cameras and hydrostatic test balls, and you've got to locate, you know, and it takes a little while to do that. So the only way to diagnose plumbing is by running a camera or by testing it hydrostatically. So that's the only, you know, quote unquote inspection that there would be a fee on. So a lot of times people will already have a company that's come out and test the plumbing, and they may have renderings and drawings of the way the system is laid out underneath the house. And if that's the case, we can go off that without running a test. But plumbing it's very crucial. If somebody's caught with their pants down on the plumbing, or it's not brought to somebody's attention, at the forefront, that's a repair that can put somebody in a completely different denominational value. I mean, repairing under-slab plumbing is not cheap, just because it's very labor intensive. You're tunneling underneath the house with laborers and shovels, but it is very important, especially to any house that you guys have on the market that was built in 1975 or prior. Anything built in 75 or prior is a complete cast iron system. And it would be like you and I burying a Coke can in the ground, and 30 years later we dig it up. There's nothing left to that. So it's safe to say that 7 out of every 10 houses built in 75 or earlier are going to have some sort of plumbing issue.
Yeah.
Between 1975 and 1977, they kind of bridged the gap of cast iron with ABS plumbing, which is very similar to PVC, but it's a softer black pipe. And they ran that for about 3 years, like I said, 75 to 77, until they realized that wasn't holding up. But, most houses, 1977, 78, for sure 79, and to date, is going to have a complete PVC system. So when a house moves, that PVC system is more susceptible to moving with the house. But what you have to be careful with, as you said, is previous repairs done to the house. That PVC can break and give way, or, these huge oak trees that HOA is making everybody have in the front of their houses now. Those roots can just penetrate that pipe looking for a source of water, and just grow in and infiltrate that pipe system. So, under slab, it's very, very important, but it's some things that do become overlooked. And, if a new homeowner moves into a house that has a plumbing issue, generally it's not going to rear its head for, 6 to 8 months. That's when they're going to see their brand new made ready home that's been patched and painted. The doors have been shaven. Everything's been made ready to move in. Things will start opening back up. Walls will start opening back up. Doors will start to ghost, stick, things of that nature. So, it's again, beneficial to bring it up in the forefront, because, the last thing somebody wants to do is move in and get pegged with an expense that under-slab plumbing could be.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, as you were talking about the plumbing and the galvanized, pipe, I, have a lot of clients of mine who several years ago, brought to my attention, they didn't want to buy any home that had galvanized pipe, and they want to make sure, of course, all the electrical was, brought up. So, and I say that because a lot of people don't know, especially first-time home buyers, they don't have a clue. But I do explain things when I'm working with any clients that are working with, looking for older homes, or maybe their budget is going to be focused primarily on older homes. I talk to them about the galvanized plumbing so they understand. But I don't know that everybody does that. And the reason I do that is because right now there's so many investment companies and investors that are just flipping homes, and basically they're just slapping lipstick on a pig. And
exactly,
you can't do that, and who wants to pay premium pricing on a home that does have a lot of hidden issues, where cosmetically it's gorgeous, but the bones are not there.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love working with investors, and at times I absolutely hate working with investors. But you're exactly right. They come in and do an immaculate job on the inside of the home, but some of the things that you find buried is, those are very expensive things that, the cost could have been cut drastically had they done that in the forefront before remasking everything. But you're mentioning galvanized pipes. Galvanized pipes are actually domestic water line supply pipes that run through the house that feed the water, into the house. So it's a
Right.
completely separate system than your sanitary sewer line. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it does become an issue for sure, especially like you said with investors. God love them, but it's any extra expense to them comes out of their bottom line, and a lot of times these guys can be on tight budgets.
Right. Right. I mean, I get that. Yeah. So I do want to ask you on your foundation jobs, on average, how long does a job take on just an average home?
So that's a great question. On average, we can drive between 10 and 12 pilings a day, including any concrete we would have to break out, clean up. So depending on the size of the job, between 1 and 10 pilings, it would take us, 1 day to complete, turnaround. Between 10 and 20 pilings, 2 days, 30 pilings up to, 3 days. So roughly we're driving and installing, cleaning up 10 pilings a day.
Mhm.
The average job, I would say, takes, on average, let's just say a day and a half, because most of the time going out and inspecting, you're landing somewhere between the 1 and 20 piling mark, 14, 15, 10, 12. But, 1.5 days on average is about the turnaround time. I employ over 100 people. I run 6 crews. So, when you guys decide to do the work, generally we're out there within 3 to 4 days.
Yeah. So that's great. Yeah. So you have 6 crews,
Yeah.
working. And so, I just, right now with everything going on in the world, how has that affected your business?
Business here in Houston, we're seeing a lot of people, I think, that are home and they're bored and they're doing all their honeydews and chores. They're noticing a lot more things. So we've been heavily running appointments and inspections, but it doesn't seem like anybody's pulling the trigger right now. I think that they're just afraid to let go of that much money. Now, we do a lot of work in Beaumont, Port Arthur, Port Neches. That demographic is completely different than Houston. Right now, those guys are keeping us busy. I mean, it's weird to see, from Houston just to Beaumont and Port Arthur. It's not that far, 70, 75 miles.
Right.
But there, it's a completely different breed, but the average home there is 1975. And, those people are going to die in those homes rather than sell or
Right.
move. So what Houston has been lacking, Beaumont, Port Arthur, Port Neches, they've kind of picked up the slack of Houston. But, I can't say I blame people right now, just with what's going on and people being sidelined or furloughed at their jobs. It's, $2,000,
Yeah.
$3,000. It's a hard pill for somebody to swallow. And that's the unfortunate thing right now.
Right. So is there, any maybe tips that you can help us, I always tell people that, it's important that you maintain your foundation, just by, either putting in a sprinkler system and making sure that, the foundation is watered pretty regularly throughout the year. So I guess, is that some of the things that you preach or?
Yeah, I mean, sprinkler systems are good. If people don't have sprinkler systems or don't want to go through the expense of a sprinkler system, soaker hoses are good as well. But the main thing I would say is to keep the arbory, the trees, the landscaping, trimmed back as much as possible. Two things that are most detrimental to foundation repair is heavy trees, arbory,
Yeah.
and the under-slab plumbing giving way. And a lot of times, going back to the root, it's the trees that cause the problems. Just as you see your sidewalks buckling and breaking
Yeah.
and cracking and your driveway panelings displacing, a lot of times the trees are the culprit to that. And that's the same thing that's going on underneath the house. So if you have these big oak trees or trees that the canopy is extending over the house, then
Yeah.
it's safe to say the root system is also up underneath the house. So the most important is to keep the trees, the arbory, the landscaping trimmed back, and just kind of prune and take care of that. A sprinkler system, unfortunately, with how much water that we would need here in Houston to combat the settling of our Lake Charles black gumbo soil, you would have to leave that system on constantly, just with the lack of rain and that we get, and as hot as it gets. But I would say the most important thing again is just keeping things trimmed back, pruned, and just keep overgrowing. I mean, any of that will help prolong the effects of foundation repair. Unfortunately, in Houston, it's not a matter of if. I mean, unfortunately, every house will have to have it, and the new home builders have it figured out perfectly. They'll warranty a slab for 10 years, and after 10 years, you're on your own. And on a new home, it takes about 10 years for it to rear its head. That's when, again, the trees are at full capacity. They're not infinite anymore, but they've got it figured out. 10 years, the warranty ends, and at about year 10 is when the foundation starts to move. But keep an eye on drainage. Inadequate drainage will help speed up the effects of foundation issues. If you constantly have water sitting around your house or pooling around the house, I mean, all of that can be very detrimental to the slab. So anything you can do to deviate water from sitting around the house, heavy pools, rain, a lot of times gutters help. But those are all little things to help slow down the effects. But unfortunately, at some point in time, the Grim Reaper is going to come, and the problems will arise.
Right, right. Well, I do want to tell people out there that, hey, if you suspect that there's maybe some foundation issues or movement, or if you start seeing some what we call the staircase cracks,
exactly,
get on top of it. Give Jess a call. He'll come out there. He'll take a look at it without charging you. And the sooner you catch it, the cheaper it is. Because, if you can catch it early enough and start, any further damage, you're just saving yourself thousands of dollars.
Yeah. And on that note, even if they don't have a problem, I'm still going to provide them with a drawing, and I'm still going to provide them with elevation readings, so that if there's not a problem then, a year from then, 6 months from then, 3 years from then, at least we have a baseline of what that house sat at when we came out and inspected it, and we can monitor the movement of the house. So, even if, like you said, if they suspect something or they just want to know, it doesn't cost anything to have us out there. Whether there's an issue or not, we're going to provide you a drawing, because we want to be able to refer back to that when the time comes. Hey, look, then the house had only moved a half of an inch. A year later, now we've moved an inch and a half. Maybe it's time to go ahead and do something here. But the sooner somebody can get a baseline elevation reading of how their slab sits, it provides more information for the house, more homework, something to go off of for, when the time does come.
Right, right. Well, great. Well, is there anything else that you want to add before we have to end it? Unfortunately, I can sit here and talk to you forever.
No, I really appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you letting me come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jess. And y'all, if you have, any realtors you do commercial as well. So, if y'all have any commercial owners out there, homeowners, realtors, give Jess a call. If you need foundation repair or under the house plumbing repair and drainage issues. So, Jess, what's the best way to reach you?
So without getting inundated with phone calls or my cell phone, my office number is listed at the bottom. The 281-546-6601 number. You can call my office at any time. We're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and Saturdays from 8 to noon. So, you can call my office and somebody there will help you out, or, possibly give you my cell phone. But yeah, call the office anytime, and they'll put you in direct contact with me, or like I said, somebody in my office will be more than happy to set something up.
Okay.
Anybody that I reach out here, any friends of yours, real estate agents, let it be known, because I like to touch those
Yes.
people personally. So it will be me that comes out, not an employee. But no, again, that's the best way would be the office. You can go to my website. You can email us directly from the website. That's another easy way. So yeah, we respond at all hours of the night also. A lot of times we'll get email responses after hours, and
Right.
there's people that respond back to that. So very easy to get a hold of.
Well, that's important, because that is probably one of the hardest, hurdles to get over, is just trying to get someone to call you back, right?
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Well, again, y'all, if you have any, foundation issues that you would like looked at, or at least for peace of mind, or if you have any plumbing issues under the house, and again, if you have drainage issue, I think a lot of people around here have drainage issues. So give Jess a call. He's a great guy. And again, he's returning phone calls right away and responding to everyone. So again, just want to thank y'all so much for watching. And just remember, we're supporting small business owners. So if you know of anyone that would like to get some exposure, send them my way, and we'll get them on here, and hopefully we can help them, get the exposure they need without any additional overhead. So I would appreciate anyone also just, spreading the love. We need it, right?
For sure.
Right. Well, thanks again, Jess. I appreciate your time, and we will talk to you soon.